Hey guys, it's Jessi Jane. Today I'm showing you how to make embroidery patches easy peasy style. And while watching, keep count of how many times I yap off. Comment down below with your final number. Now let's jump into this easy peasy embroidery tutorial. Now that we've got all of our bobbins here, I'm going to pick out the colors and then wind the bobbins. So I'm going to show you guys how to thread your bobbin. This is how my machine does the bobbin threading, but of course follow your directions. Hopefully your machine should have it here listed. There should be little guide marks for you, but if it doesn't, it should be in your manual guide. Make sure that your thread is under. So you're going to click it under this piece first. And don't do what I did a couple of times where I will always forget to loop it behind this white piece here. So you're going to loop it under there. And then you're going to pull it over this hook. And then you'll pull that through the circle, making sure that it's like locked in there. This is how I like to do the next part, but everyone's got their own method. So what I'll do is I always try to start where it's gonna go to be, oh my God. That just got stuck in my bracelet. So the thread is never supposed to be in front of you, because if you see, that's how it gets caught under there. So I typically try to wind it with it facing behind me. And then once I get to a good point, I'm going to hold the string, because if you see, it'll try to unravel a little bit on itself. And I'm going to use the other side of the thread to kind of wrap around that. And then if there's like a long string like here, I'll take little scissors and I'll just snip it off. And then I'll tend to wind as far as I can go so it's nice and tight for when I start. And then you make sure that it's behind you. That is the biggest thing. You'll see that the button will turn orange when it's ready. And I tend to hold the string because I am always so scared that I'll do what I've done before. So I just tend to hold the string. Now we go. Keep holding my hand. Keep holding my hand. And then if you start to hear that sound, that means it's starting to get to the end, but it will stop when it's ready. So you don't have to stop it. See, just like that, it stopped. You turn it off. And then there should be a little cutter tool on your bobbin threader. So just cut it off. And then what I typically do, especially since I'm making, why do you keep doing that? Especially since I'm making multiple colors, so what you're first gonna do is take off your foot. There should be a little lever back here that will just release the foot. You should typically know this because this is how you'll change your foot. Your machine should come with a little metal circle. If you're like me and you've lost that circle, or you don't know where it is, or you just never got one, you can always use the little sewing contraption. I don't really know what this is called, but it's the little sewing thing that goes on the top of your threader. So what you'll do is you'll hold with your other hand and you'll just unscrew this screw here. And if you don't have any of these things, or if you're worried about breaking this for any rhyme or reason, you can also use a flathead screwdriver. So you'll take this off. What I typically do is I always put it in this little area right here because it just keeps everything nice and safe. So the next thing you'll do is you'll take your embroidery foot. I'm gonna have to relearn this for a second. So if you see, it's still very unstabilized. And make sure that this is really, really tight, because the embroidery machine, if this is your first time using your embroidery machine, you'll realize it goes really, really fast and aggressive. And there's been some times where I have not put it on tight enough and it just falls right off, So another great hack is you can use the side of a foot. So you're gonna just kind of align it, make sure that there's some spacing on all sides, and then just kind of squeeze it in.
Suck it in.
This little area here should kind of open up, but if it's not, you can open it up with one finger. Now before you go and tighten it, hold down certain sides and just pull the stabilizer up. But because this is ripping stabilizer, you want to be very, very careful that you are not accidentally ripping it up. Because if you rip up any of the sides, it could possibly like come undone. So just go and pull up the sides, do the best that you can. And then while kind of holding it, you just tighten it as tight as you can go. And then my big test is you flip it around and you just do a little flick.
Right. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Do you hear that sound? It'll sound like a drum. Alright, so what I've been doing for the past couple embroideries, especially when you start to get to multi-colors.
That
If you see, this is how it kind of looks when you start to do multiple colors just on the stabilizer. Thankfully this one had no issues, but you can kind of see some spacings. So when I go to sew it on, I'm gonna have to basically close that gap myself. But what I've been starting to do is I already ripped it off, but I'm using plastic wrap on top with the stabilizer, because you see it kind of just makes it a little bit easier, and it's also making it firmer. Okay, so we tightened the foot back up. You want to give it a good wiggle. So if you see here, I clicked that button. We're gonna hit set. We're going to do size. We're going to increase it. So you hear that double beep, that means you can't go anymore. See, just to show you. You'll do edit end. You can move it around if you want it in certain parts of the stabilizer. I'm not too, if you're trying to do it on multiple embroideries on the same stabilizer, you're able to move it down and things like that, but I'm not too bothered by it using extra stabilizer to make sure that it is how I want it. So I tend to just do the middle. You'll hit embroidery. You'll see how long it takes. If there's any extra colors, you'll pop up the colors, how many stitches. You know, currently it's 500. You'll see that the button has now turned this yellowish. It looks yellow for me, but it looks green for you. And then you'll just let it go. And that's it. You just made your very own embroidery patch, easy peasy style. If you've enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any DIY crafty tutorials. Make sure to comment down below how many times you think I've yapped off, and tell me what kind of patch you're going to make next. I can't wait to read all of your ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.